Toyota fans are not going to like this ranking. Some Japanese engines deserve their legend. Others are just living off the badge. A Toyota logo does not guarantee 300,000 miles. A Honda badge does not make abuse disappear. Nissan, Mazda, Subaru, and Mitsubishi all have heroes and heartbreakers. Today, I ranked Japanese engines by real 300,000 mile survival rate, not speed, not sound, not internet hype. Number 1 is the twist. Toyota dominates the legend, but one Honda engine family beats it where normal owners actually live. Let us get into it. Number 17, Subaru EJ25. We are starting with the engine that proves one painful truth. A Japanese badge does not automatically mean 300,000 miles. The Subaru EJ25 has powered Foresters, Outbacks, Legacies, Imprezas, and loyal owners through snow and rough weather. It has character, that flat 4 sound, and a fan base that will defend it like family. The problem is not personality. The problem is survival rate. Head gasket trouble on many naturally aspirated versions became so famous that people who never owned a Subaru still know the joke. Oil leaks, coolant loss, timing belt neglect, oil consumption, and overheating can turn this engine from dependable to expensive very quickly. A carefully maintained EJ25 can reach high mileage. Plenty have. The issue is that it does not forgive neglect the way the best engines on this list do. Miss cooling maintenance or drive it hot and the engine can punish you hard. That is why it starts at the bottom. It can survive, but it asks for too many favors. The Subaru at least gives warning signs before it breaks your heart. The next engine is more dangerous in a different way, because it feels like magic until the compression starts disappearing. Number 16, Mazda 13B Rotary. The Mazda 13B Rotary is brilliant. It is smooth, compact, light, and addictive. In an RX-7 or RX-8, it feels special from the moment it spins. Special does not always mean long-lived. Rotary engines do not fail like normal engines. They have apex seals, high heat, oil consumption by design, and a strong need for careful warm-up, proper oil, healthy ignition, and owners who actually understand what they bought. That last part is where many of them die. A 13B can last when maintained by someone who knows rotary engines. It can also lose compression far earlier than a Toyota or Honda 4-cylinder would even feel tired. This engine belongs here because it is not bad. It is demanding. For a weekend car, it can be magic. For a 300,000-mile survival contest, it is fighting with one hand tied behind its back. The Rotary is famous for being misunderstood. The next engine is worse in a quieter way, because it looks ordinary enough that owners trust it until the oil level tells the truth. Number 15. Nissan QR25DE. The Nissan QR25DE is one of those engines that should have been higher. It was a simple 4-cylinder. In practical cars like the Altima, Sentra, X-Trail, and other everyday Nissans. On paper that sounds perfect for high mileage. Reality was more complicated. Early versions had oil consumption, catalytic converter damage concerns, timing chain issues, and rough durability compared with the best Japanese engines. Some examples lasted well past 200,000 miles. Others became oil burners long before that. The engine improved over time. Later versions are better than the early reputation suggests. The problem is that 300,000 miles is not about being decent. It is about surviving years of imperfect owners, long oil intervals, cheap parts, and bad driving habits. This list rewards engines that survive normal ownership. A family car that starts after traffic, heat, bad fuel, and average maintenance tells a stronger story. The QR25 can get there, but it is not the engine I would choose if my whole budget depended on reaching 300,000 miles. Hit the like button if this ranking is already more honest than the usual. All Japanese engines are bulletproof talk, because the next engine proves that extra cylinders do not save you when one maintenance item gets treated like a suggestion. Number 14. Mitsubishi 6G72. The Mitsubishi 6G72 has a long resume. It showed up in Monteros, Pajeros, Diamantes, Galants, and 3000 GT models. It is a strong V6 with real history, and in the right form it can run a long time. The survival issue is complexity and age. Timing belts matter. Cooling systems matter. Oil leaks matter. On some versions, access can be annoying, and deferred maintenance stacks up quickly. A cheap, neglected one can become expensive fast. This engine can absolutely pass 300,000 miles with the right owner. The Montero and Pajero crowd has proved that. Neglected examples still get dragged down by old seals, worn belts, overheating, and careless owners. That is the line with the 6G72. It is durable when respected. It is not idiot-proof. That difference matters at high mileage. Strong metal cannot save old coolant, cracked hoses, overdue belts, and years of ignored seepage. The engine may be tough, yet the maintenance around it decides whether it survives. The next engine is stronger, meaner, and more famous. Here is the twist. Its biggest enemy usually is not Mitsubishi engineering. It is the person who thinks factory strength means free horsepower forever. Number 13. Mitsubishi 4G63. The Mitsubishi 4G63 deserves respect. In stock form, especially in older Gallants, Eclipses, Lancers, and Evolution models, it is one of the strongest four-cylinder engine families Japan ever built. Iron block, strong bottom end, tuning potential, motorsport history, real durability. The problem is not the engine. The problem is what owners do to it. Boost gets turned up, cheap parts get installed, bad tunes happen, oil changes get skipped, cooling systems get pushed. Suddenly, the same engine people call indestructible is knocking, smoking, or sitting on a trailer. A stock or lightly modified 4G63 with clean oil and good cooling can live a very long life. The survival rate drops when the engine becomes someone's experiment. The dirty secret with many tuned Japanese legends is simple. The engine gets blamed for failures the owner created. Factory engineers built strength into it. The second owner added heat, poor fuel, cheap oil, and a tune from a laptop in a parking lot. That is why it ranks here instead of near the very top. The bones are excellent. The owner history is often not. Performance legends get remembered loudly. The next engine survives quietly, which may be why it outlives cars that look far more exciting. Number 12. Mazda MZR 2.3 and 2.5. The Mazda MZR four-cylinder family is quietly strong. You find versions in Mazda 3s, Mazda 6s, CX models, and related Ford products. It is not the engine people make posters about. It is the engine that just keeps commuting. That helps survival. Naturally aspirated versions are usually simple, smooth, and durable when serviced correctly. Timing chains reduce one major worry, parts are available, fuel economy is decent, weak points still exist. Oil leaks, timing, chain, noise on neglected examples, intake issues, and cooling system age can show up. Turbocharged versions, especially in Mazda speed models, are a different conversation and need more care. For normal daily driver versions, the MZR has a better chance at 300,000 miles than many owners realize. It does not beat the legends because it is not quite as proven under abuse. That is the key difference between a good engine and a legendary one. A good engine lasts when treated well. A legendary engine survives. Owners who are late on oil, rough with cold, starts, and slow to fix small leaks. It still earns a respectable place because boring engines often outlive exciting ones. The next engine has sound, power, and a huge fan base. The question is not whether it can survive. The question is how much damage the previous owner already did before you bought it. Number 11. Nissan VQ35DE and HR. The Nissan VQ35 is one of the most recognizable Japanese V6 engines ever made. Maxima, Altima, Pathfinder, Murano, G35, and 350Z used versions of it. It sounds good and gives ordinary cars real muscle. Long life potential is real. A well-maintained VQ can run past 300,000 miles. Many have. The bottom end is strong, parts are everywhere, and mechanics know the platform. The issue is that the VQ often lives in cars driven hard by people who forget it still needs oil. Oil consumption, timing, chain guide wear on some versions, valve cover leaks, cam sensors, crank sensors, cooling neglect, and catalytic converter problems can all show up. None of these automatically ruin the engine, but together they lower the survival rate. The VQ35 is not fragile. It is just not as forgiving as Toyota's best engines or Honda's best four cylinders. Buy a clean one, maintain it, and it can go the distance. Buy an abused one, and the engine may already be halfway tired. That is why used VQ cars are tricky. The engine may sound healthy during a short test drive, yet old oil habits, heat cycles, and hard driving can already be written into the timing chain, sensors, and valve covers. Now we reach Toyota, and this is where the badge starts lying to people. The next engine can last forever in the right hands, yet one famous weakness turned thousands of loyal owners into dipstick checkers. Number 10. Toyota 2AZFE. The Toyota 2AZFE is where the ranking gets controversial. This engine powered Camrys, RAV4s, Scions, and practical Toyota products. Many owners drove them forever. Many still do. The problem is the oil consumption era. Certain years developed piston ring issues that caused oil burning. Some engines ran low on oil between changes. Some owners never checked the dipstick. A Toyota engine can survive a lot, but it cannot survive having no oil. That one issue keeps the 2AZ from ranking higher. The frustrating part is that outside those problem cases, the engine is simple, efficient, and capable of very high mileage. A corrected or well-maintained example can cross 300,000 miles without drama. The lesson is clear. Toyota reliability still needs oil. This is the part many owners forget. A reliable engine does not mean a maintenance-free engine. It only means the design gives you a better chance when the basics are done correctly. The 2AZ is not a bad engine. It is a good engine with a famous weakness, and that weakness damaged its survival score. The next Toyota 4-cylinder is older, lighter, and cheaper to keep alive. It will not excite anyone, which may be why it keeps outliving flashier engines. Number 9. Toyota 1Z ZFE. The Toyota 1Z ZFE is not glamorous. Corolla, Matrix, Celica, MR, 2 Spider, and other models used it. The engine is light, efficient, simple, and easy to service. That is a strong formula for survival. Early oil consumption problems hurt some versions, especially when owners ignored oil level checks. Later examples improved, and well-maintained 1Z engines became exactly what people expect from Toyota. Cheap to run, easy to fix, and stubbornly alive. This engine will not impress anyone at a car meet. It will not make big power without stress. It will not sound exotic. That is part of why it lasts. The 1Z survives when owners keep oil in it, avoid overheating, and service the basics. It is not the toughest Toyota ever built, but it is one of the engines that made Corolla ownership feel boring in the best possible way. Boring is not an insult here. Boring means the car starts every morning. The next engine comes from Nissan trucks, and it brings a different kind of survival. Less polish, less refinement, more old-school stubbornness. Number 8. Nissan KA24DE. The Nissan KA24DE is not fancy. That is its greatest strength. It powered hard-body trucks, Frontiers, Xterras, Altimas, and the 240S in different forms. It has an iron block, simple construction, good torque, and a reputation for taking abuse that would scare more delicate engines. Truck versions especially earned long mileage respect. The KA does not need to rev to the moon. It does not need boost. It does not need exotic maintenance. It needs oil, cooling, timing, chain attention when needed, and owners who do not run it dry. 300,000 miles is realistic for cared-for examples, especially in trucks that lived steady working lives. The reason it is not higher is age. Many examples are now old enough that wiring, sensors, oil leaks, timing components, and previous owner neglect matter more than the basic engine design. A clean KA is a survivor. A neglected KA is still an old engine with old engine problems. Age is the silent enemy here. The engine design may be strong, but 30-year-old hoses, brittle connectors, tired grounds, weak sensors, and mystery repairs from previous owners can make a good engine look worse than it really is. The next one is Honda's first real warning shot. Toyota fans can relax for now, but only for now, because this is where Honda starts building the case that will eventually steal the crown. Number 7. Honda D-Series. The Honda D-Series is the engine family that taught a generation what cheap reliability felt like. Civics, Del Sols, CRXs in earlier forms, and many compact Hondas used variations of this little 4-cylinder. It was not powerful. It was not luxurious. It was not built to tow, haul, or impress. It was built to run. The D-Series wins through simplicity. Parts are cheap, access is easy, fuel economy is excellent. The timing belt service matters, but the job is straightforward. Cooling systems are simple. The engine does not ask for much. That is why so many owners abuse them and still got away with it. Oil leaks, head gasket issues on neglected examples, timing belt neglect, and overheating can still kill them. No engine is magic. The survival rate remains impressive because even imperfect owners often got long life from them. This is where Honda's case against Toyota begins. A Toyota may survive neglect. A Honda D series often survived poverty, teenagers, missed services, and bad decisions. That matters. The next Honda engine adds power, cylinders, and comfort. It also adds one rule that cannot be ignored unless you enjoy turning a reliable engine into an expensive lesson. Number 6. Honda J Series V6. The Honda J Series is one of the great Japanese V6 families: Accords, Odysseys, Pilots, Ridgelines, Acuras, and other models. It is smooth, strong, efficient for its size, and capable of high mileage. 300,000 miles is very realistic with care. The catch is that this engine has rules. Timing belt service must be done. Valve adjustments matter on many versions. Oil leaks should not be ignored. On some models, cylinder deactivation systems created oil consumption or mount issues. Automatic transmission problems in certain Honda vehicles also damaged the ownership reputation even when the engine itself was strong. That is why the J Series ranks high, but not at the very top. The engine is excellent. The surrounding vehicle and maintenance requirements can complicate survival. A well-maintained J35 can run beautifully for a long time. A neglected one with an overdue belt, old coolant, and ignored oil leaks can become expensive fast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this with someone who thinks every Honda engine is maintenance-free. The next engine is where Toyota reminds everyone why its truck reputation is so hard to kill. Number 5. Toyota 1 GR-FE. The Toyota 1 GR-FE is built like it expected a hard life. 4Runner, Tacoma, FJ Cruiser, Land Cruiser Prado, and other rugged Toyota products used versions of this V6. It became famous because it lived in vehicles that people actually used: trails, towing, heat, dust, commuting, family duty, and long road trips. That is where survival reputation is earned. The 1GR is not perfect. Early head gasket concerns. On some versions, water pump leaks, ignition coil issues, and normal age-related maintenance can happen. Later examples became especially trusted. The reason it ranks this high is simple. It survives real life. Owners who change oil, service cooling systems, replace plugs, and avoid overheating often see huge mileage without internal engine drama. The 1GR does not feel delicate. It feels like Toyota built it with a safety margin. That is exactly what you want, if 300,000 miles is the goal. This is also why the 1GR has such a loyal following. It does not need perfect roads or gentle use to prove itself. It earned trust in vehicles that were actually worked, loaded, modified, and driven far from home. The next Toyota engine does not just survive. It helped convince luxury buyers that a quiet, expensive car could also be almost impossible to kill. Number 4. Toyota 1 UZ-FE. The Toyota 1 UZ-FE is one of the engines that made the world take Lexus seriously. It powered early Lexus LS models, SC models, and other Toyota luxury products. Smooth, quiet, strong, and engineered with obsessive attention to detail, the 1 UZ became a symbol of Japanese overbuilding. This engine can cross 300,000 miles with grace. The bottom end is famously strong. The V8 runs smoothly. The design was conservative in the best way. Owners often describe these engines as barely broken in at mileage that makes other luxury cars nervous. Maintenance still matters. Timing belt service matters. Cooling system health matters. Old rubber parts matter. Leaks matter. Age matters more than design at this point because many 1UZ cars are now decades old. A neglected luxury car can become a nightmare even with a brilliant engine. Still, the 1UZ deserves its legend. It made luxury feel durable, not fragile. The next engine is its tougher cousin. Many people would crown it number 1 immediately, and they have a strong argument. One thing keeps it from winning this particular survival contest? Number 3. Toyota 2 UZ-FE. The Toyota 2 UZ-FE is the engine people mention when they want to end an argument. Land Cruiser, Sequoia, Tundra, Lexus LX, Lexus GX. Big vehicles, heavy loads, bad roads, heat, towing, family abuse, and still the engine keeps going. The 2UZ is not chasing efficiency awards. It is a cast iron block V8 built for work. That gives it a toughness many modern engines cannot match. 300,000 miles is not unusual. 400,000 miles is not fantasy when maintenance is steady. The weak points are known: timing belt service, water pump, exhaust, manifolds, secondary air injection on some later models, and the fuel bill. None of those erase the basic truth. This engine is a tank. The only reason it is not number one is that survival rate is not just about strength. It is also about how many owners can afford to keep the engine alive, how easy the car is to service, and how many examples avoid being neglected. The 2UZ is one of Toyota's greatest engines. The next Toyota engine is even more famous, and many fans will say the ranking should end there. The problem is that fame and survival are not always the same thing. Number 2. Toyota 2JZGE. The Toyota 2JZGE is the naturally aspirated version of a legend. Most people talk about the turbocharged 2JZGTE because of power. Long mileage, people respect the GE because it gives you the strength without as much heat, boost, and abuse. This engine powered Lexus GS models, Lexus IS models, Toyota Supras, Aristos in related forms, and other rear-drive Toyota products. Iron block, smooth inline-six layout, strong internals, simple character, huge parts knowledge. A naturally aspirated 2JZGE can reach 300,000 miles with almost boring confidence. Oil leaks happen. Timing belt service matters. Old cooling systems matter. Sensors age. Valve-covered gaskets seep. None of that changes the foundation. The engine is fundamentally strong. The survival problem is not usually the engine. It is the car. Around it, previous owners, age, modifications. A clean stock 2JZGE is one of the safest bets in Japanese engine history. Most people would stop the list here. That would be the obvious answer, and obvious answers are exactly why the real winner gets overlooked. Number 1. Honda K-Series here is the engine family that beats Toyota in this ranking. The Honda K-Series, especially the K20 and K24, is the best combination of long life survival, parts availability, efficiency, serviceability, and real-world owner access. That last part matters. A 2UZ may be tougher in a truck, a 2JZ may be more legendary, a 1UZ may be smoother, a 1GR may be better off-road. The K-Series wins because it gives 300,000 mile potential to normal people in normal cars without massive fuel bills, rare parts, or luxury car repair costs. Accord, Civic, CR-V, Element, Acura, TSX, Acura RSX. Many versions of this engine family lived in cars people actually use every day. Timing chain, strong bottom end, excellent oiling, simple, naturally aspirated versions, massive parts support, easy mechanic familiarity, good fuel economy, or good power, low running cost. That is the survival formula. That matters because survival rate is not only about the strongest block, it is about the engine ordinary owners can afford to maintain properly. A brilliant engine becomes risky when parts are rare, labor is painful, or every repair costs more than the car is worth. The K-Series is not flawless. Valve adjustments matter. Oil changes matter. Some versions have VTC actuator noise. Some burn oil when neglected. Overheating can still hurt anything. Bad modifications can ruin any engine. Stock for stock. Maintained correctly, the K-Series is one of the easiest Japanese engines to push past 300,000 miles without turning the car into a project. This is why it beats Toyota here, not because Toyota is overrated. Toyota dominates long life reputation for a reason, especially at the truck and luxury level. The strongest Toyota engines are still monsters. The K-Series wins the number 1 spot because it combines Honda's high mileage 4-cylinder genius with Afatia, availability, and everyday usability better than anything else on the list. That is the engine you recommend to someone who wants one car to drive, maintain, and keep until everyone else has already financed 2 replacements. If this ranking surprised you, drop a comment with the engine you thought should have won. Toyota fans, Honda fans, Nissan fans, Subaru fans, I know you all have something to say. Click the video on the left if you want to know the Mercedes habits that make a car last over 300,000 miles without major repairs. Click it before your next maintenance mistake becomes expensive. If you want more real-world car rankings without the dealership nonsense, hit subscribe. I will see you in the next one.